Highas and higher healing vibrations. Cosmic Cat here. Welcome to my channel. So glad that you can make it. This is a very sacred channel because this is all about connecting with your inner child, reconnecting, removing the gap between you and your inner child, going inward, having some wisdom. Let's go ahead and start. We do have the birthday candle going today. It stayed and remained. Spirit told me to leave it going. So I did. It wasn't one where I forgot to blow it out. Spirit said, no, keep the light on. So if it is your birthday today, keep your light on and feel free to watch that birthday reading as well. Let's go to August 28th. That is the day that we are on, and we are going to read what the topic is. It is about empowerment. Empowerment, and we did touch on that in the birthday reading as well. I am empowered to heal the painful parts of my life. Say that with me. I am empowered to heal the painful parts of my life. Yes. My life as a child was very painful. To survive, I constructed a reality for myself built on wishes. After a while, I began to live as if my fantasy were real. Living in a fantasy allowed me to deny some truths about my life. It's time now to stop pretending. I know that if I continue to pretend things are better or different than they really are, I will never resolve my hurt. By living in fantasy, I only put off my grieving. I'm going to repeat that one more time. If I live by living in fantasy, I only put off my grieving. I will continue to experience pain as long as I live in my expectations instead of my reality. Living in expectations, living in illusions, living in negative thought patterns, the negative self-talk that doesn't help us, all of these things. I am strong enough now to accept the difference between fantasy and reality. Let's repeat that one too. I am strong enough now to accept the difference between fantasy and reality. I can acknowledge and confront my pain, past and present. My acceptance of my reality empowers me to heal the painful parts of my life. Wow, wow, wow. This is another big one. My goodness. Empowerment is the key word, and you can understand, it's easy to understand how empowerment may come from this. At the same time, think about so many different emotions that are there, living in illusions, false realities. It's interesting that this is coming up today because just a few days ago I was speaking with my daughter and we were planning for something ahead, and it's basically something in our day-to-day routine, but yet as I was thinking about it and as I said something, and I said, okay, let me be realistic here because I was understanding that I wish I could remember what that was too. But it's of time. It had something to definitely do with time. Okay. I'm the friend that if there's an event or something going on, yeah, tell me it's at 2 o'clock. If it's tell me if it's at 2 o'clock, if it's really at 3 or 2:30, I need that 30 minutes extra hour cush because it's that, and I've gotten better at it. But say you struggle with being late. And to help yourself understand more about being late, you start to realize your patterns. You start to see and observe why it is that you're late. And one of the things that I came up with recently for myself was I was realizing that I would be late. It was like I was early, already ready. So I would get I would get ready super early before I had to leave the house to go do something, right? Or to get to work, get to whatever it was, the event that I'm doing, whatever this is. And so I'd be ready to go an hour before. But then I'd decide to start a project. Well, I've got time to start this. And and the project that I started wasn't ideal, something that I could get done with in the amount of time that I had. So I was realizing, so through all of this, I'm realizing how I can help myself improve my time management and by not taking on extra. So realizing reality versus fantasy. And, if I want to improve on my time of getting to places, then I have to go within myself and be more aware and mindful of why I'm late in the first place. Sometimes, sure, it's out of my hands. I cannot help it if what a normal route would take 20 minutes and it takes 40 minutes due to construction or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, if it's really just because I'm delaying my own self by starting too much at once, then this is something for me to experience, me to understand. But living in fantasy only puts off your grief. That is a really good one there. I mean, this is really also talking a lot about healing. So if you struggle with empowerment, there could be some people pleasing going on. You could be an empath. It could be very difficult for you to say no to others. You would be encouraged. It would be really helpful and beneficial for you to actually look into creating healthy boundaries for yourself, how you can create healthy boundaries for yourself, what it looks like, what it feels like. Practice, stand in front of a mirror and say how practice what you would say to your friend, your family member, your sibling, your child, your partner. Practice before you speak it to them. If this is something that you're working with or working on, practice it and make sure each time you practice that it's coming from a place of compassion and understanding, and that you have nothing in there that it throws a jab or an attack or pain or negativity in any way. Because we know and understand as human beings that doesn't get us very far. Think about yourself. How likely are you going to listen to someone that is sending jabs at you, basic throat punches, while at the same time they're trying to ask for your help, ask for you to, maybe not ask for, boundaries aren't really asking for help. It's really just letting others know what you will accept and will not accept or tolerate in your life. And that's simply put, that's what that is for you. It's a sense of it's knowing yourself. So if you really aren't at the point of knowing who you authentically are, it may be difficult to set boundaries. So this is why you're here. Yeah. And to get empowered, to create that garden of your own, to go out under that favorite tree. Don't have a favorite tree? Find one. Create one. This is going to help you start to actually learn more about trees. If you allow it, you can block it or you can allow it. You can go with the flow and want this change and want this transformation and start to do things that you've never done before. And maybe if you've always done this, maybe add something new into the mix. Maybe start hiking. Hike a little bit. Maybe find another tree. It doesn't mean that you can't still love this tree. But for someone, if this is something that you've done and created in your garden of your own, maybe there's another tree in your yard that you can give some attention to. There's something about attachments and detachments here. Not having codependency, not being attached to anything. Yeah. At the same time, creating a garden of your own. This right here even looks empowering, doesn't it? You're so relaxed, leaning up against your favorite willow tree, magic falling down, shading you, giving you some shade, which is beneficial. Just like our own shade, our own shadow is beneficial for us. That is where we learn the most. That is where we learn how to transition into it. We learn what we don't like. And that helps us to know what we want to move toward. That helps empower us. The garden of your own, all this green, writing in your journal. We mentioned writing in your journal before it started. Spirit, what can you share with us about the empowerment for the inner child, being empowered? Knight of Pentacles. Okay, that's only upside down because I have the deck upside down. Upside down. Do you feel upside down? Does it feel upside down to be by a tree maybe? I don't know. We're going to go with the top here. Going from the top. And look at that. You turn right into the Magician. Yeah. Okay. So the garden of your own, being empowered, creating a garden of your own, not following the herd anymore, becoming a leader of yourself. This is something you're doing. This is going to be empowering, because if you take power from others or give your power to others, even maybe unknowingly or knowingly, you're not stepping into your own, you're not in your own authentic power. So this is wonderful to come into play, to have this empowering moment come to you, to be empowered. Your power is in all of your lower 3 chakras, your root, sacral, and solar plexus. All of those energy centers hold power. We have real power, authentic physical power. We have sexual power, the power and capability to be creative, and to be empowered. And we have confidence, our self-esteem, what we think about ourselves, our self-worth, our value. That is our willpower. That is all important. And all of those spaces are very crucial to be balanced and have movement, no stagnation. Spirit's sharing with me, someone here has stagnation in 1 or all 3 of their lower chakras. And you're being asked to start with your root chakra and work your way up. This is interesting. I mean, Spirit guided me, of course, to bring the red jasper out today. I didn't know why. I just heard, bring this one out too. I said, okay. I usually only bring our yellow calcite, right, for our inner child and our solar plexus, our confidence, self-esteem, our worth, value, willpower, the strength, determination that we need. But yes, the root chakra. So this is a clear affirmation. This is what they want you to do, is to start at your root, your base. And our root chakra is all about basic necessities being met. Shelter, clothes, food. That is a part of it. It's also power. It's where you hold your power. You hold a lot of power in your root chakra. That is the power where you allow other energies in at times. It is extremely important. It's extremely sacred. Once you actually get to the point of knowing that your root chakra is sacred, and how sacred it is, and how important it is in your body, that every person that you allow sexual energy into your body, your sacred root chakra, you are sharing your power and you're taking theirs in a way. Not all of it, but you are exchanging power at that time. And once you realize this is why it's important for you to work on your root chakra, because your root chakra is the base. And once you actually gain respect and consideration and love for your root chakra, maybe you're a nymphomaniac, maybe you actually externally seek, you feel that that is love, that sexual intercourse is love, and that is why you always externally seek it. And you feel like once you have that release, once you have that orgasm, that everything in your world is better. But you know otherwise, because you've been doing this cycle for years, so you already know otherwise. And your inner child's screaming at you. Mine is literally screaming right now. I don't know if you can hear it, but she's really going crazy right now. But yes, this is all about your root chakra. You getting in tune with your root chakra, your power, and respecting your sacred space. Okay? Honoring yourself and honoring, knowing and understanding more about your private area and sexuality. Knowing what all of that really entails, instead of just what we have been known to be. We have here the beside your creative garden of your own, we have the Knight of Pentacles stepping up. This is the only knight that, this also is a pentacle, and it definitely is talking about being grounded. Okay. And it's grounding your energy, grounding yourself into your own garden, being able to work with your own self, getting familiar with your body. Maybe you're reflecting back to your inner child at a very young age when you very first masturbated and you were ridiculed, you were guilted and shamed for it by your guardians or family or whoever caught you. As if to say it's not allowed, as if to say you can't do that. And unfortunately, that is what society does to us. It's like, oh, oh, miracle to have a baby. It's such a beautiful creation, a miraculous gift that we are gifted to have a child. Well, how did that happen? How did that happen again? It's oh yeah, you actually had intercourse with someone in order for this to happen. If you didn't, you could have done it another way. But we all know the authentic traditional way of having a baby is a man and a woman together having sexual intercourse. This is not anything for us to shame or guilt in society. And this is going to be moving away from that. This is part of the reason of feminine energy rising. Thank you, Spirit, for that knowledge, nugget of knowledge. That's why. It's because instead of dissecting your body and disrespecting your body or feeling like you need to reject your body, you are meant and intended to actually be one with your body. Your body is the vessel that carries your soul. Your body is something that is important for you to know in and out and to be familiar with the entire energy and process with your body. Here you're having contentment. You're looking at the garden you're creating and you're contemplating now. There's complete peace. There's no movement here because you're not moving, because the internal aspects of you, your guts, your inner wisdom, that intuition that is in your lower chakras is all moving. You may even be feeling sensations in your body at this time. You may feel chills or warmth or heat or tingling sensations throughout your body. Share in the comments below if this is you, if you're feeling this. Engage. I love hearing where everyone is at, and I don't know unless you actually share what that could possibly mean. Like, it's nice to engage with one another and see where everyone is at on their own path, because it is your own unique path. There is no shame in masturbation. In fact, that is more acceptable that's where it's important to first be at, is getting familiar with your body, your sexuality. This is part of the reason men, like men masturbate more. That's a proven fact. But that is part of the reason men also are more in tune with their body, that part of their body. They have done that more. They were okay with it. And, you know, it's something definitely important for all genders to honor is your sexuality, your private area, your intimacy with your body. And unfortunately, this typically isn't our first step in life. If this was your first step in life and you've taken it, please share in the comments below and how it's been for you. Because many have went through rejection of their body on a deep level, because not just society, but guardians, upbringing, and the way of the world, and not being in their own power. And so being rejected immediately, to not even know about your body, is an immediate blockage for us. And so we get this, before we're 10 years old. So it's like it's something to transition and change within ourselves, okay? Empower yourself by getting in tune with your private area and knowing that it is a sacred space, that wherever you take this power, you are, in essence, giving some of this power away when you share it with someone intimately, okay? Contemplate what this all means to you, and contemplate what empowerment means. How do you want empowerment? What does that look like to you? Because you're moving into this magician phase. You will be moving, and look, it's not by chance that it's directly above your root chakra, a chrysalis of form. It is very difficult for a butterfly. Talking about creation, we have right here you about to touch your creation of this beautiful butterfly. You're about to touch spirit, to see. And it's very difficult process, the way that the butterfly does come out of its shell, just like childbirth. Childbirth isn't something easy. It is a miracle. This is a miracle. And yet it is also a process that takes a lot of energy. So keep this in mind when you're working with your empowerment. Do not give up. Know that you are a magician and you have all of the tools necessary in order to reach empowerment. Also, if you've actually already reached empowerment and how you went through it, share it. If you have any tidbit or knowledge or information that you'd like to share with others in the feed, please do so. But this is your magician phase, is really you being motivated to take the action to move forward. Yeah. That is your message today. The negative aspect of the magician is, because I'm asked to share this with you, is that make sure that you're not relying too heavily on magic. If you feel discouraged or frustrated, know that that could be why that's coming to you. Allow yourself to fail. Know that failure in anything is okay. It's actually an opportunity to grow, to learn something, to learn a new way. We talked about that earlier, or it might have been in the birthday reading. All right, well, speaking of birthday reading, this is definitely feeling like a rebirth for many of you out there. So we are going to blow this candle out for you at this time. Go ahead and set yourself an intention for the day. What is it that you would like to have happen or begin for you? Maybe not even for the day. You can just set an intention, a goal. What is it? Set a goal of empowerment, about empowerment, something to do with empowerment for yourself, okay? I'm going to blow this out on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. It took 4 times to blow it out. And as the smoke rises, may that empowerment rise within you as well, too. Have a cosmic day and tonight, meow.